Good morning. I'm Riham. I'm founding consultant at Process Inc. and part-time faculty member at Concordia University. But most importantly, I'm here with Dr. Dawn de Guerre, who is associate professor and chair of the department at Applied Human Sciences, also at Concordia University. Dr. de Guerre has had a distinguished international career as a manager and a consultant, working in the public, private, and nonprofit sectors. His major area of interest is the development of participative governance and organization and the further development of open systems theory. He teaches in the domains of human systems intervention, action research, and consulting process. Dr. de Guerre has recently received the Lifetime of Giving Award for his tremendous influence and impact on the lives of hundreds of students throughout Canada and worldwide. His pedagogy is known to be unique, experiential, and deeply humanistic. Welcome, Don.
Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to be interviewed today.
My pleasure.
And congratulations on the recent award.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to receive the Lifetime of Giving Award?
Well, it's a great honor, and it's a bit overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I was really deeply touched by the number of people and the depth of appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit overwhelming.
Oh, yeah. The presenter had said that he didn't give much of those awards in his lifetime. So he was talking about the award as he didn't remember the last time he gave an award like that. So it's a pretty prestigious award.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. So your area of expertise for the last 30 years has been open systems theory,
mm-hmm.
but recently you've been working on new methods, and you've been developing other methods. So can you talk about your latest work?
Sure. It really started with my partner in crime, Bernard Moore, mm-hmm. And Doug Ostrom. And Bernard was looking to improve his practice of appreciative inquiry by using OST in the design phase of appreciative inquiry. Mm-hmm. And so we worked with Tufts Medical Center in Boston and tried to do that there. And it didn't work really well because there's a different kind of approach in appreciative inquiry, different culture, a different atmosphere than there is in OST. So my next opportunity was with two graduates of HSI, Daniel Seguin and Alicia Pace, and we worked with the School of Extended Learning here at Concordia. And the article is called IDEA, stands for Innovation, Engagement, Design, and Action. And we found that particular area did not want to use OST because the employees didn't trust management. So we had to do something to help them. And we went to design thinking and appreciative inquiry. And so we began to integrate design thinking, appreciative inquiry, and OST in practice. And it worked really well. Since then, Bernard and Doug and I have developed a boot camp workshop, training, test, trial for people-powered innovation that incorporates, it's basically a standard design thinking process. We have four phases. We call it Inspire, which is really building relationship with the client system. Inquire, which is really learning about the client system and the customers, clients. Imagine, which is how might we do something differently, how could we, which is where you get the innovation, and then Invigorate, which is go out and take action vigorously to put it into place. But what's different in our approach, those are kind of standard phases in design process or innovation process, is that we take an appreciative inquiry stance. So you're building on your strengths. When you're understanding yourself, you're understanding your strengths. And what happens is people learn a lot and come together strongly. And we're using a systemic approach and fully participative approach from OST, so that we think that you don't need to have a special degree or special training to be a designer. We think every human being can be a designer. And so the people who are innovating their own workplace are the people that are the designers involved in the process we go through. So it's appreciative, participative, systemic approach to innovation.
Okay. That's the people-powered innovation lab that's going to be given through the Center for Human Relations and Community Studies.
Yeah.
That's coming up May 26th and 27th.
Yes, it is. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the workshop ties those three concepts: appreciative inquiry, open systems theory, and design thinking.
Right.
If someone doesn't know any or all of the three concepts, can they still learn? Can they gain from this workshop still?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. In the workshop, you're working in small groups with your peers, friends, neighbors, colleagues, and you rotate through small groups. And we use things, we build things so that you're working not just verbally, but you're building things with your hands and creating art to describe what you're trying to create in terms of innovation.
Okay. So can consultants pick and choose pieces and use pieces of the design to implement in their own organizations?
Oh, yes, sure.
Okay.
And you can do it at different stages.
Okay.
Over a long period of time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any success stories using this method that you can share with us?
Well, I think the precursor, the School of Extended Learning, was a success story. And that's the precursor that developed this lab.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't actually used it in an organization.
Mm-hmm.
May 26th, 27th may be the beginning, because most of the people coming are from Concordia.
Okay.
So if we use Concordia as a live case, that's like an in-house piece of work, which would be our first.
Okay, cool. What about organizations that say, we don't have time, it takes too much time to put people in a room, different stakeholders, etc. What can you say about that?
There's always time.
Mm-hmm.
Most organizations start saying we don't have time. We work too hard around here. So I accept that and begin with it. And if what you're doing is value added, they create the time. So you would start with the inspire stage. Maybe you can get a 2-hour meeting. And in that 2-hour meeting, if you do something worthwhile, they want to explore further with more people. So you do it again further with more people. If that's worthwhile, all of a sudden the organization is able to find the time. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you're working with a large mining company, for example, in the north, to get technicians, the miners, in the room, they pay them, and they have to pay them overtime to do that. So that's a big commitment. And it goes from, I don't have time for this, to I have time and I'm willing to invest the money to make it worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What can participants expect to gain coming out of this workshop?
An understanding of the methodology and the philosophy, theories behind the methodology, and some tools and tricks and tips for how to work as a facilitator, facilitating this for other people.
Okay, so will they be equipped enough to go back in their consulting practice or in their organizations and hit the ground running?
Some will be.
Okay.
If you're coming in with a set of skills, you get this, you can go out with your set of skills and this. Okay. Others may want to say, the first time we do it, we'd like to have Don or Bernard or Doug with us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Doug and Bernard, can you talk to us a little bit more about those two consultants who will be joining you?
Well, they're both Canadians, and they both live and work in the United States of America and have for 30 years. Bernard is a co-author of, I think, 4 books on appreciative inquiry. I connect with him before that with a couple of publications he's got on socio-technical systems theory. We're all members of the Socio-Technical Systems Roundtable. Doug studied with Eric Trist in environmental studies at York University, and then taught at Indiana State University, and today is a private consultant with a practice in leadership, working with top executives on how to create ecosystems that are leadershipful in their organizations rather than leadership empty, which is an interesting way to work.
Lots of experience in the room.
Lots of experience in the room, yeah.
Okay. What are your hopes for this year's PPI Lab graduates?
I'd like to be able to do more innovation at Concordia. So my hope is that graduates will start to value design thinking and see the power that appreciative inquiry brings to design thinking. And we can develop some new courses, do some research, maybe a new program. So.
Anything else you'd like to add about the workshop?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So that is the People-Powered Innovation Lab given through the Center for Human Relations and Community Studies at Concordia here in Montreal. And that's May 26th, 27th. Thank you very much, Don, for meeting us today. And I'm looking forward to talking to you again in the future.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you. Right.